We're going to begin by looking at our review packet, page 8, and we're starting with number 41. I've already did these ahead of time, so I'm going to go ahead and just go over them for those of you who did them in class and might have been struggling. So number 41, how many times larger is the value of 75 hundredths than the value of, and that is actually not a number that we use in 5th grade, but 0.0075. Now, this is place value. As you can see, they're using the same digits, 7 and 5. They've just moved over the place value. Since that decimal traveled over 2 times to get right in front of the 7, 5, you're thinking 10 to the power of 2, which would be 2 zeros, 100, so it is 100 times greater. Now let's move on and look at number 42. Number 42 is exceptionally easy, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Just to remind you to make sure that when you are plotting the points that are specified in the word problem, that you make sure that you label them with your letters A, B, and C. And also just a quick reminder, the first number in your ordered pair is telling you how many times to go across. And then your second number is your y-coordinate, which is telling you how many times to go up on your y-axis. So remember, run first and then jump. Looking on at number 43, it's pretty simple to identify this pattern. I can see that each time they are just adding 1 here and 1 here. So the rule is add 2. And if I were to continue this pattern, I can see that this one right here has 5 going up and 5 going across, plus the one in the middle, so it has 11. And if I were to use that rule, add 2, I would now have 13. Moving on to the next page, number 44. Just a reminder, if there's something that you need to look at again, please feel free to pause, rewind, go back. Number 44, Tyler is 9 years old. His sister Olivia is 6 years less than twice his age. Write a numerical expression for Olivia's age. So I went ahead and I went through and I used cubes. So I circled 9 years old and 6 years old. Then I underlined the question, which is to just write that numerical expression for Olivia's age. Now going back, since I know that Tyler is 9 and Olivia is 6 years less than, which is going to definitely tell me to subtract twice his age, I did Tyler's age of 9 times 2, and then I subtracted the 6 years less. So technically, if you had to answer it, you would get 18 minus 6. Olivia is 12 years old. But again, here it's just telling you to write an expression, so you do not need to solve it. Looking at number 45, we did this modeling a little bit back, more towards February, but it says shade the model to show the decimal 674 thousandths. So remember that a full row is your tenths, so I drew 6 tenths. Your hundredths are each of these cubes there because there are 100 cubes in this flat, so I shaded 7 of my hundredths. And then my final step was the thousandths. And remember that this right here is representing me taking one of these little hundredths cubes and cutting it into 10 pieces. So in reality, this is a zoomed in one of those cubes, and I shaded 4 of them, so I have 674 thousandths. Remember that you read this number all together, 674, and then the place value of the last digit, again remembering THT, tenths, hundredths, thousandths. Looking on to number 46, it was just using your germ DOS, so remember to solve your grouping first. 8 plus 16 is 24, and then I'm rewriting it with the equivalent expression, so I have 3 times 24 divided by 4. Order of operations is going to tell me to work multiplication, division, left to right, so I multiplied 3 times 24, and I got 72. And now I'm going to take that 72 and divide it by 4. You get a final answer of 18. Remember, when you're doing that final part of 72 divided by 4, you can actually rewrite the division over to the side inside of your number house to help you out. Number 47 says Melinda, Zachary, and Heather went to the mall to shop for school supplies. Melinda spent $14.25 on her supplies. Zachary spent $2.30 more than Melinda spent, and Heather spent 2 times as much as Zachary spent. So again, I went through and I used my cubes. I circled $14.25, $2.30, and 2 times as much. Then I underlined my question, which is how much did Heather spend on school supplies? I boxed several operation words: spent, more than, times as much. So what I did is I sort of just made like a little model. I need to put M for Melinda, and I know that it says Melinda spent $14.25. Then it gives me the information about Zachary, and Zachary spent $2.30 more than Melinda. So I took her $14.25 and I added $2.30, giving me a total of $16.55. Reading more onto it, I know that Heather spent twice as much as Zach. So I took the total of Zach, which was $16.55, and multiplied it by 2, and I got $33.10 as my final answer for that question. Last one on this page is number 48. An equation is shown. Write the missing number in the box. So again, you're going to notice that it has the same digits, 3 and a 4. So it is just place value. How many times do they have to move over that decimal to have it between the 3 and the 4? And you can see that I moved it over only one time. My answer was getting bigger and not smaller. So I was multiplying by 10. 10 to the power of 1 means I moved my place value over one digit. Multiplying by 10, it is 10 times greater.